Page number 125. Handbook for Mankind The Tempesta Bhikkhu Buddhadasa Bhikkhu. As for the 5 remaining defilements, the solid, the Arahant, the 4th grade of Aryan, succeeds in relinquishing completely. The next defilement, the seeker of the fetters, is desire for the bliss associated with the various stages of concentration on forms. Ruparaka. The first 3 grades of Aryan are still not capable of giving up attachment to the bliss and tranquility obtainable by concentrating deeply on forms. But they will succeed in doing so when they move up to the last stage, that of the Arahant. The fully concentrated state has a captivating flavor, which can be described as a foretaste of nirvana, though it differs from real nirvana. It has more and less the same flavor. While one is fully concentrated, the defilements are dormant, but they have not evaporated away entirely, and will reappear as soon as concentration is lost. As long as they are dormant, however, the mind is empty, clear, free, and knows the flavor of real nirvana. Consequently, this state can also become a cause of attachment. The 7th subtle defilement is desire for the bliss associated with full concentration on objects other than forms. Aruparaka. It resembles the 6th fetter, but is 1 degree more subtle and attenuated. Concentration on an object such as space and emptiness yields and tranquility and quiescence more profound than concentration on a form, with the result that one becomes attached to that state. No Arahant could ever become fascinated by any state of present feeling whatsoever, regardless of where it originated, because an Arahant is automatically aware of impermanence, unsatisfactoriness, and non-selfhood of every state of feeling. Other hermits and mystics practicing concentration in the forest do not perceive the hidden danger in this blissful state, and so become fascinated by and attached to the favor of them that has imagine people come attached to the favor of sensual objects. For this reason, the Buddha used the same word, desire, for both cases. If you think this subject over and really come to understand it, you will be full of admiration, admiration and respect for these individuals called Aryans. The eighth fit of binding a man to the world is awareness of superiority, of inferiority, mana. It is the delusion of having this or that status relative to as he is. I am just as good as he is. I am better or higher than he is. Thinking I am not as good as. One feels inferior. Thinking I am better than. One feels puffed up. And thinking I am just as good as. One thinks along competitive lines, or in terms of getting ahead of other fellow. This is not pride or conceit, not to think automatically of oneself as better or worse than the other fellow in this fashion is bound to be very difficult. The pressing of this definement as number 8 is probably meant to indicate that this is hard to give up and so belongs near the end of the list. Only the highest grade of Aryan can relinquish the light of us naturally can't give it up. This idea that one is better than or on a par with or not as good as the other fellow comes from a certain kind of attachment. As long as the mind is still involved in good and bad, the awareness of inferiority, superiority, and equality with respect to others remain to disturb it. But when it has completely transcended good and bad, such ideas cannot exist. As long as such ideas do remain, real bliss and tranquility are lacking. The ninth factor is agitation. That is mental unrest, distraction, lack of peace and quiet. This is a feeling of agitation that arises when something interesting comes by. We all have certain chronic wishes, particularly a desire to get, to be, not to get, or not to be, one thing or another. When something comes by, via the eye, ear, nose, tongue, or body, which fits in with one of our tendencies, there is likely to come about the mental reaction, pro or con, which we call interest. If we see something new and strange, wavering and curiosity and bound to rise, because there are still things that we want and things that we fear and mistrust. So the mind cannot resist. It has to be interested in the various things that come by. At least that is how it is with an ordinary person. If the object in question happens to coincide with the desire of his, he finds it hard to resist. He is likely to become interested to the point of becoming involved. Please to the point of forgetting himself. If it is an undesirable object, the mind becomes alert so that his gratification comes to an end. This is the nature of agitation. The first three grades of Aryan still have curiosity and inquisitiveness about things. But the Arahant has none at all. His mind has abolished all desire for anything whatsoever. It has abolished fear and hatred, worry and anxiety, mistrust and doubt, and all desire to know about and see things. His mind is free. Nothing can provoke or lure him and arouse inquisitiveness or curiosity simply because he has abolished partiality. It should be realized that the existence or rising of agitation in any situation is a sequence of some form of desire, even including the desire for knowledge. When the desire has been done away with through realizing the impermanence, worthlessness, and non-selfhood of all things, nothing is any longer seen as worth getting or being, and so there is no curiosity about anything. If a bolt of lightning were to strike like beside an elephant, we would not be interested because he has no fear of death or craving for continual existence or anything of that sort. Even if something dangerous came along, or if something brand new were discovered in the world, he would know no inquisitiveness or curiosity, because such things have no significance for him. He has no wish to know about anything from the point of view of what it may have to offer him, because there is nothing that he longs for. He has no curiosity of any kind, and his mind has a purity, a tranquility, such as we ordinary folk have never attained. The tenth and last defilement is ignorance. This covers every kind of defilement not yet mentioned. Until page number 128. Have a wonderful day, all day, all the time. Goodbye. In the car, get it. We didn't see my daddy. Get it, scar. Somebody born.